Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joe Debiec, the Vice President of International Operations at CIS Abroad. I oversee risk management for the organization, and I also oversee the team that manages our on-site staff around the world.
And my name is Jessica Jones. I'm our Vice President of University Relations, and I serve as a member of some of the teams we're going to talk to you about today, and I oversee our University Relations team that's based all over this country. Joe and I are here to talk to you about CIS Abroad's risk management teams and procedures, and to share more about what we have been doing over the past several weeks in response to the coronavirus outbreak, and what we will be doing to move forward. Our risk management team consists mostly of members from our executive team, including our president, Chris Holloway, a few vice presidents, including Joe and myself, and several of our directors and international operations managers. We meet monthly to review incidents and examine our responses, ensuring that we're adhering to guidelines from the Forum on Education Abroad and NAFSA for best practices in risk management and emergency response. Our emergency response team, this is Team 2, is our frontline team who staffs our emergency phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our emergency response team, or our ERT, as we more informally call them, hosts many of the same members as our RMT and several of our program coordinators as well. We rotate our emergency phone weekly, responding to emergencies around the clock as soon as they happen, or as soon as we're called. Whenever an incident escalates to a certain degree, our risk management team engages with the ERT member on call, and we work together to manage whatever that incident may be. Right now, you are all likely also experiencing the coronavirus. It has had our attention for several weeks, and we'd like to share a bit more information with you about what we're doing to monitor the spread of the virus, to mitigate risk on our programs, and to communicate with our current and future participants, their emergency contacts, and with their home institutions.
Shortly after news of the outbreak of coronavirus started to spread, we began reaching out to our on-site participants and to our U.S. university partners. Soon after that, we began putting together messaging for participants who would be taking part in our spring programs or even our summer programs, just to keep them up to date and aware of the situation and how it might pertain to the location where they will be studying abroad or where they are studying abroad. We've shared the Center for Disease Control recommendations with all of our participants. Their tips for healthy traveling include avoiding contact with sick people, washing hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, using alcohol-based hand sanitizer if soap and water are not accessible, considering bringing sanitizing wipes with travelers in addition to hand sanitizer for cleaning surfaces such as tray tables, and also staying hydrated, sleeping, trying not to overexert oneself in the days leading up to travel, and then really resting, getting through that jet lag, getting the immune system back in shape after arrival are really important. We are concerned about the coronavirus. We're also concerned about this bad flu season that has the potential to really affect our students all over the world. So these tips, if followed, will help when it comes to mitigating coronavirus spreading and also just staying healthy and safe. One big recommendation also has been to stay away from China. We have had students who are connecting in China or who are considering excursions to China during their study abroad program, and we have recommended to all the CS abroad community to currently avoid China, even traveling to Hong Kong is something that we are carefully talking with students about and trying to avoid to mitigate some of the potential risks that have popped up in response to the coronavirus. Our international partner universities are also very closely monitoring the coronavirus and taking all necessary measures to ensure that their campus communities are as protected as possible. None of our programs have been canceled, but some steps have been taken by our partner universities to mitigate risk. Some of those steps include checking all the travel history of the participants who will soon be arriving. So some of our CS Abroad participants have been asked, have you been to China in the past 6 months? Where have you been in China? was any of that travel in the past 14 days. If they answered yes to any of those questions, then additional information was requested of them. So, in addition to that checking of travel history, South Korea in particular is being very careful. They are requiring additional health checks for students who will be arriving on the spring program in mid February. And in one instance in the CIS Abroad program portfolio, we have seen where a partner university has delayed the start of their program. Students were asked to arrive on the original start date. It's just the start of classes will be delayed by 2 weeks, and that's a preventative measure that they're taking to mitigate the risk of coronavirus spreading through their campus body. The situation is very fluid. Yesterday, when we were talking, we were happy that the number of new cases that were being reported each day in China had been declining. All indications were that the effort to limit the spread of the virus seemed to be producing results. However, today is a very different story. We saw the largest single day increase in the number of infected people since the outbreak began. So the situation is fluid. We're going to need to continue to monitor this on a daily basis, and we'll be communicating with all of you frequently as the situation unfolds. The risk management team here at CIS Abroad will be monitoring communication from our overseas universities, from the governments of countries where we operate around the world, as well as the US State Department and the Center for Disease Control. And we'll communicate with our students on site, with our prospective students, and with students who are in the pipeline to go abroad this spring still and in the summer and fall. Um, we'll also update the global news and alert section of our website. If you have any specific questions, we're always here to help. We'd be happy to address any of those questions, so please send them to us.
Don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you.